Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the final match, first week, season 47. And we are going for a 3-0 week, and the prospects look pretty good. It means we're probably going to go 0-3 next week, because we're climbing pretty high into Kyber 2 right now. Like, we've got a shot at 3,500 skill rating if we get this win here, I believe. Last round, we got the scenario that I thought was going to happen, which was just more of a default win kind of scenario, where my opponent didn't really participate. He did do a few attacks here, like in the last, 30 minutes of Grand Arena. We got a hold here with Leia, something failed up against Raddus, and then he did an attempt here and cleared General Grievous. But I kind of wish that he would have done a serious attack. Like, this guy's roster was crazy. Every character in the game at Relic 7 and higher. It's not like we're dealing with a bunch of Relic 1s and Relic 3s. It's Relic 7s, 8s, and 9s. Every character in game. So it would have been interesting to see what would happen, because he did set down his SLKR onto defense, which means he didn't really have a Leia counter, and he may have struggled here up against Jabba or with some of the other teams on defense, and that may have meant I could have won regardless, which I would have liked to have seen. But for today's matchup, my opponent is Candyman. This was the guy of the two people who were in the winners bracket, like the semifinals. He was the one I thought was not going to be here. I thought he was going to lose because the other guy had some other strengths. He's Del Shade. You can see at the far end of the screen for a comparison between him and Candyman. Del Shade is a 7GL player in this bracket. He just unlocked Leia, so that's not completely reflective. Things have changed over the course of the week. Candyman here, 251 Zetas. We're pretty much tied. Amis, he's at 20, perfectly respectable. GL 7, Relics at 166. His depth, though, is a little shallow, which is one of the data points where I thought he'd be a little weaker. So far, things look pretty similar. Relic distribution, this is an area where he's got some weird ones, like a 4 tier 1s, a tier 2, some tier 4s, like kind of in these intermediary stages. I actually brought this up in the Twitch stream. I have no idea who these tier 4 relics are on my account. I want to look at that, because there's really no reason for a tier 4 relic. It's pretty cheap just to go to tier 5 if you've moved past tier 3. So it's something I'm going to investigate a little bit later, but with the rest of this, you can see in terms of the tier 7s and 8s, I'm fairly comparable to my opponent. He's got a slight edge, but this is one of those places where Del Shade, the other potential opponent, he has a much more dangerous account in terms of 7s and 8s. Also, look at the mods. His mods are much better. Del Shade has better mods than I do, but compared to Candyman, I've got the advantage in mods. I've got a better top 25 average of plus 26. I've got a better top 500 average by about 0.5. And then when we look at counts, I'm beating him in counts. I got a couple more of the 25 plus, a meaningful amount more of the 20 plus, and we're fairly close on the 15 plus, but I've got the advantage. And then we look at Datacrons. He is participating, but one of these I think he got afterwards. He does have the Bosch Cron, but I already took a look later. It's not on his Jabba. He must have gotten it after the lock-in. And Del Shade was the other opponent with good Datacrons. His are a little better. It's a thing where Del Shade, he was probably the most serious Datacron player in the bracket, but Candyman also good, which is why he was in the semifinals. GL-wise, no Leia. So that's going to give me a pretty strong advantage to start. He does have everybody else, though. Almost everyone at tier 8 and higher, except for Sith Eternal Emperor. Fairly typical. I am, of course, without Lord Vader, Rey, and SLKR. Excuse me. Omicron-wise, now we're going to start seeing some of the differences between Del Shade and Candyman, where I'm kind of surprised Candyman came through. So he's got a tier 5 Malgus 3 Ami. He's got a Relic 1 Iden. I just brought my Iden to Relics. She's new this week. And we got a 3 Ami Starkiller. We got a Relic 4 Wampa, which is a little weak, Savage, and Traya, but no Aphra, where Del Shade did have Aphra. And we keep moving through this. It's got a Qui-Gon Swolo, weaker Zori. He does have third sister at Relic 7 3 Ami. No Malicos, though. Del Shade has a Malicos. So we can see that without Malicos, he doesn't have a strong Leia counter. I think SLKR can still beat the Leia Drogon. It's not as clean. And then we got Drogon here. Maul, no Moff Gideon, and no Jedi Knight Kelkestis, and Del Shade has Kelkestis, and most importantly, no Leviathan. So you can just see there's like a number of advantages I have here, which is why I'm feeling pretty good about my chances to go 3-0 this week, which is really rare to do these days in Kyber 2. I haven't done it in quite a while, so I want this. As we take a look at Candyman's mods, with Gree Empire being his guild. Organize this by speed and take a look. His Maul is at 305, so that'll narrow it down. So we got 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Is this right? 50, 60, 65? No, I must have missed him. This doesn't make sense. Yeah, I missed him. Because Starkiller is definitely slower than 300. Where was Maul? There's Maul. Okay, so it was right by his watt. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This is more sensible. His Boba Fett is the last 300 speed character at right on the money. Zam here is at 299. So he's got 29 characters. So we're pretty much in the same range of 300 speed characters. So you can see Grand Inquisitor falling below, CLS, Han. Nobody major, and everyone's modded fairly well, but I do have some mod advantages on characters like Starkiller. But for the most part, he has the critical characters above the threshold. Let's take a look at the defense, which is a pretty solid defense. Quite a bit different than what I prepared for. This is the tough part about these first weeks of Grand Arena. You just can't trust the history, but the history is all we have to go on. Now, this is unchanged from last round. We got Grievous, Bossk, Leia, Raddus, Tuskens. Down below, we are looking at Jabba, CLS, Dash, Qui-Gon, Malgus. Back territory, we have Kneesaa with the Aphra CRON, which is why I set her on defense right here. We got Third Sister, Darth Revan, Finn Zori, and we have Admiral Trench. So some strong advantages. And then Fleet, we have this advantage too, which is the Leviathan, or no, I changed that. Okay, so we got Profundity, Executor, Malevolence. It's fine. I just got to decide how I want to handle his. Because I'm pretty sure he goes Profundity, Executor, like Negotiator or something on defense. So I'm going to Leviathan one of those. Probably Profundity because, well, we'll talk about it when we get there. We don't need to do advanced discussion of it. Here, with my opponent's defense, we are looking at Darth Revan, Mon Mothma, Rey Swolo, Qui-Gon, and Jabba. Down below, we have Lord Vader, Malgus, Boba Fett, CLS, and Third Sister. So this is a strong and respectable front wall for Boba Fett. That's not... Well, Cad Bane, what does this Datacron do? That might be interesting. So he's got the good level... Well, yeah, that'll be a good level 6 ability. And then level 9... That doesn't really matter. That's fine. I just rolled the Mob Enforcer Datacron, and it sounds pretty good. I don't know how I would use it. I would use it in 3v3 as a separate team, maybe in a scenario somewhat like this. But I've been trying to figure out what would I do with that Mob Enforcer Cron, because it's a bunch of turn meter, it's protection up, it's fear. There's got to be something I could do with it. I'd have to add relic levels, though, to Mob Enforcer, which I'm not really interested in doing. But we'll get started here with the easy one, Lord Vader, because this, of course, is the Aphra CRON, which means we have a strong counter to it. Although Maul might complicate things, I don't think too much. But we'll get started, and here we go. I'm so happy this CRON is back. We don't have to... It's just like this nice OP security blanket where I can either Lord Vader or Jabba, whoever. I just have this really hard counter. It'll take a moment to get ramped up, but pretty soon we'll get going. Maybe I should do the other one. Would the other one be better? We don't need to heal yet. We'll basic. Well, I guess it cleanses too, so maybe we will do it. Yeah, well that's good, because I need a revive. Maybe Maul is going to complicate this more than I was thinking. Alright, Armor Shred. Let's bring him back. AoE. Basic. Alright, come on. We got to get rid of Maul. Getting worried. Alright, guards down. Maul's down. Alright, we're fine. And torture. Our stacking potency needs a little bit more work. Okay. You gotta get through these ability blocks. Heal up. Maybe I should have saved that. I forget what the triggers are for the revive on this, or not the revive, the cooldown reset for the Cron. We're fine. Alright, great. It's so nice to have that. Alright, my plan, maybe I should pull up my plan. So with the plan, this is what we're looking at. So I guess some of this was expected. Boba Fett's not here, but that's changed. He probably added that because of the Cad Bane Cron. My plan for Malgus is JML Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. We're saving Sith Eternal Emperor for Starkiller, which we're not seeing here, so it might be on the back wall. So I think I am going to opt to reserve C for that. And I think we're going to play this according to plan. We'll make any adjustments that we need to, but this should be fine. So let's proceed. Actually, you know what? Let's not do this. Let's do GLs first, just in case things go wrong. We need to establish where we're at. And here we can see no Bossk run. Although level 6 ability, let's check that, because yeah, he's got the right level 6 ability. Just grab a preset. Here's my JMK. And do I have a tenacity up cron for you? Maybe we'll take the offense stacking. That could be good as well. Would I rather offense stacking, or I guess I have to. Yeah, offense stacking it is. Let's get into it. All right, reset the cooldown. That is fine. Perfect. Eliminate Curzantin. Self-select JMK. We land the healing immunity. And now we try and do as much damage to Bosch while we can. And charge up the alt. So far, things are going pretty well. Alright, let's attack. Alright, there's a damage immunity that's been triggered. I'm gonna save this for a turn. Well, the damage immunity should come off, but we'll save it for a turn. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We'll trigger the ultimate now. And eliminate Bosch. Okay. Now we're going after Jabba as quickly as we can. We don't want the Rancor to come out. We don't want to get distracted with anything else. A little armor shred. We're getting stacking offense with all these buffs. Healing immunity. Probably need to start charging again pretty soon. We were not at full charge. Alright, I think that's through the protection. That's through the protection. Alright, we'll throw an armor shred on Curzantin. I should be charging. I think that was the wrong call. Alright, we're going to hit the alt next turn. Okay, second armor shred. Okay. Starting to see and feel some of the effects of that stacking offense damage immunity just been triggered. Did not think about that, but it's fine. It's already off. Oh, but we're already done with the alt? Jeez. I can't believe how quickly we went through that. I'm getting a little worried now. definitely worried now. We're low on time, and he's got to have the rank we're ready about. I think I'm gonna... This might be a mistake. I might have wanted to go for the alt, but... Alright, there we go. Let's do it now for the assists, because I'm worried about the clock. There we go. Come on. Let's do this just in case. Perfect. Alright, let's take a look at Race Swolo. Do our Starkiller counter. I wonder if I'm going to add an Omicron to this. Yeah, we'll still use this CRON. Okay. Let's stun. Land some debuffs. Now we'll get our assists on. That was a dodge. Come on. Alright, that's been triggered. He's under stealth. Let's hit Sortie. Alright, we'll take an AoE. Let's just get assists. We'll hit Sortie. Get rid of the crit hit immunity. Alright, now we'll do an AoE. I shouldn't have put a stagger out there. The stealth on Swolo is definitely a big inconvenience that I don't remember Sortie doing before. I must have just not been paying enough attention. Okay, do your damage. Alright, Sortie's gone. VIP is gone. I need the stealth to come off. There we go. I'm actually pretty worried about this one. Alright, damage immunity. Okay. We will dispel and stun. We gotta let Swolo take his turn. Oh my god. Alright, fine. This is why I wanted to do... I know what I did wrong. I should have just focused on Sortie earlier, but you know what? I don't remember that mechanic. I know I've faced it before. Okay, I'm probably going to have to JML it now. I'm just wondering if I could Malicos it. Let's just do a couple of these. Let's Wampa this. Or we can think about it. Do I want to handle Malgus differently? Do I think Cal Kestis can handle Malgus on his own? There's no Darth Revan. What CRON is this? Protection up. Let's see if we can do Cal Kestis on his own. We can give him a nice little squad of Bastla. We'll grab Cal Kestis. Who do we want the third to be? If we brought in somebody like Mace. That's probably solid. That leaves me a decent squad left over to handle Rey. We still have gas. Let's throw in a Datacron, and as long as we buy ourselves enough time, this should be fine. And I think health steal and some extra protection up. Or do we want offense stacking? I don't know if the extra protection up is going to really matter. Let's do offense stacking. Alright, so we take that. It's fine. Basic. We'll throw in Armor Shred on Malak. See if we can land an ability block. Nice. Alright, we will basic. Dispel and get an ability block. Let's do some buffs. We're almost to where we need to be. Alright. Throw another armor shred on Malak because we're going to use the takedown for Malgus. So we basic. Alright, we take out Malgus. Perfect. Now they're starting to do a little bit of damage. Alright. Let's get some protection up. All right. I'll just keep landing armor shreds. Almost. Come on. Can we just get rid of Fallen? Oh, you know what? We need to get rid of Fallen because Corrupted Battle Meditation is probably throwing down our damage output. Let's... Okay. This will probably help us eliminate Malak. Buffs with the stacking offense, and this should do it. Not quite. There we go. Great. Alright, this still gives us a nice cleanup of Rey, where I misplayed it. Fine. Let's do a couple of these. This we're going to Traya, SWGOH, and Nihilus. Maybe I should have saved that. I wasn't seeing how many cooldowns we got. I know we got one, but still. Decrease cooldowns on Nihilus. Let's hit 7th Sister. God, I can't wait until I get this squad to relics. Yeah, perfect. Everybody's got debuffs. I think we got an Annihilate coming up next, maybe one more. Alright, 7th is gone. Here we go, Annihilate. Boom. Nice and easy. Now, how do I want to deal with this? Was Dash up top? Dash was up top, right? No, no Dash. Okay, so Dash might be on the back wall. I think we'll just deal with Dash differently if we have to. I think we're going to do my JTR thing up against this. Although, I got to find an R2 replacement so I can keep doing this. I think I want the protection up. Okay, so we got Cad, Greedo, Boba Fett. I guess we're going to try and take out Cad. Ooh, he took that hit. Let's speed this up. I guess Boba Fett. Probably should have stunned. Okay, he's down. Stun Greedo. So he can't do any ooh, that was a little tough. Sure not to remove any turn meter or do anything. I'm just going to do basics until... Yeah, here we go. Okay. What was my plan for this? I'm going to... Oh, I see. So he didn't have Rey on his defense before. Alright, fine. I think I'm gonna try my Iden, although maybe that's a bad idea, because like usually it's Death Trooper, and I don't have my relics, so I don't want to use them. Alright, we're definitely bringing in Scout. We can't bring in Veers or Piet, so it would have to be Stark if I want to use a Datacron. Or do I want to bring in Death because he can stun? It's just, things could go poorly to start, possibly. Let me look at this. So we're granting buffs. Potency, protection up, she lands tenacity, right? I'm gonna try it with Death Trooper. Just there's certain synergies here that work, but I just at gear 12 I'm a little concerned. All right. So we stun. Or do we put up our we adapt or die? Let's go with the stun. Alright, he's got days. Do I want to pull? We'll do it, but I'm gonna stun him. I don't think we're ready yet.
Your skills are quite...
Don't like it. I'm playing this wrong. Don't see. This is why I was concerned. We can't do it now. It would be nice if I could get this to work. I think we're just wasting time. I think I should just get out of here.
My goodness, your skills are...
Maybe if I had... Let's just hit auto. Because they are going to get some stacking stats. They are struggling with Scout Trooper.
We're certainly lucky that you're...
But I am being stun locked a lot.
your
It does
skills
feel
are
like CLS is the bigger annoyance here. Feels like I need a remod her.
We're certainly lucky that you're on. My, hey, over here. My goodness, your skills are.
No, we don't have enough firepower left. We're being controlled too much.
We're certainly lucky that
We're also getting faster as this. Yeah, alright, it's over. Which means it's got preloaded turn meter. If I just do this, do that. This would be a really bad idea if Han was around, but Han's not around right now.
Hey, over here. My.
Ooh. Okay. As soon as Maul goes, we're gonna crush him. But I'm a little scared because they're taking a lot of turns. Here we go. Why is Candace not assisting? Alright. That's what I was thinking about doing originally. Maybe I should have just stuck with it. But now I know that I need to do some work with Iden. Either some homework to figure out how to play it correctly, or I need to just invest a little bit more in my Death Trooper, which seems important too. But it's why I like to test things that are even... I know that the Iden one's well used. Mine's been on defense forever. And I watch a whole lot less of these than you guys do. Alright, what are we doing here? We got Grand Inquisitor, not part of my prep. Okay, so we'll do a Padme thing with Grand Inquisitor. Shaak Ti was part of my prep, but I've used the counter I was going to use. Oh wait, I still have Sith Eternal Emperor. Alright, we're going to return up top. Okay, this should go... Do I want to use gas here? I've done this a couple times now, and gas hasn't been working because we have these Relic 9 gases now. Or not, we have these Relic 9 Darth Revans now, which is causing some issues. What? Are there going to be that many buffs going around? I don't know. I just feel like the sides here are weak enough that I should be fine. I guess it depends on how this part goes. Perfect. There's the sacrifice. Okay. Low banners, but fine. We're just gonna womp this. No? Sure. Now while we put this on auto, I want to talk about New Mutants. Because I just watched it the other night. I was expecting something that was going to be terrible. Because everything you heard about the movie was that it was a disaster. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not amazing or anything, but it's a good movie. I enjoyed it the entire time. It had my attention the entire time, which a lot of movies these days don't. The story works. The script works. The cast works. It's true to a lot of the comics. It was interesting. And it's a perfectly enjoyable, solid movie. The first half is a little weaker. It's a little bit more generic, but I don't really think it's all that formulaic. And the end of it was pretty strong. Because one of the things I don't like are these like epic boss battles at the end, or what they hope to be these epic boss battles, like Quantumania, where it's just a bunch of like computerized NPCs like just dying by the hundreds and you don't care. That kind of stuff I can't stand. And that's not what is in this movie, and I appreciate that. But New Mutants, that did not deserve the narrative that it received. Like, it's solidly in the top third or quarter of mutant-related content. Which, considering how bad a lot of it is, maybe that's saying less than it sounds like. But I was really happy with it. I'm just trying to swipe this stuff down myself. Okay. Alright, we got a lot of dots. I haven't been roaring much. Potency's gone, so we can take care of her. We should be able to take care of Katarn quickly. I'm just gonna yes, okay. Am I gonna do what I was gonna do? Alright, we still got GML, we got all this other nonsense. I was gonna Jedi Knight Rev in this, but now I need my JML. Do I need JKR? I guess I don't need them. Let's take care of Ray now. Do I have more of that? Here, perfect. I want this. Because I need to make amends for my terrible misplay. Alright, let's... Okay, JML to Hermit Yoda. So it's JML. Now it's Hermit Yoda. Now it's Jedi Knight Luke. Back to JML. Hermit Yoda. Jedi Knight Luke. Don't you dare die on me. Alright, we gotta stun and stuff now. Or no, let's do this, make sure nobody dies. We're gonna have to stun. We can't let people die. Now we can get back to the alt work. And I've lost track now. Alright, let's hit the alt. Improve our stats. Let's equalize again. Oh my god, come on. Alright, it's not gonna happen now. Maybe I should have saved him. Maybe I should have done my other thought was Malicos. If I can't get through this, I might not be able to get through this now. Actually, no, we want all these stats. Yeah, let's heal up. Let's foresight it. Get some stats. Take the hit. Now we will eliminate Qui-Gon. Mark Annie. Okay. Swap. Turn meter. And this should take him out. Okay. We're gonna head down below. I'm gonna take out as much as I can. Or not much. We need to take care of all this. But I want to retain as many high quality weapons. Maybe I should have used Gen Revan here, because what do I got to do now here? I'm in trouble. I don't know if I have a proper Raddus counter left. I'm probably going to... Well, I guess I can use Sith Eternal Emperor, because that's not something I'm going to use up against Rey. Malicos, I have... Malicos is my best option up against Rey now. Let's just do it right now. It's going to go terribly. I should have done it before when... No, because I got to bring him down into the red. This is not going to work. Maybe if... At Relics, I would have a chance. What Datacron is this? It's a good one for them. That definitely came into play up against Starkiller. It's not the reason we lost, but it's definitely was part of the math. Alright, we get a little protection up. Focusing on Swolo. The riposte is helping because it means we're getting into the yellow quicker. There's a stun. I need the riposte. Let's make sure we don't lose Cere Junda. We'll give her more protection. There's the damage immunity. That's terrible. We need to focus on Swolo. Because he ignores protection too. Yeah, we're not getting through that. I messed this up. I mean, I know he's not getting through my Leia, so we just got to beat the rest of this as clean as we can. And it's going to come down to banners. I gave him a path to victory. I'll just solo that. We're gonna make up banners. Do you get tenacity up? I don't. I need to just like write down who gives tenacity up. I don't really need this. Hit. Alright, we'll take pilot down in a second. Okay. Next turn, here we go, pilots down. All right. Bossk, I don't know. Let's just do Padme here. Although I gave away one of my tanks. I don't have another, not at relics. We'll just do this without a Datacron. What's this cron? It's fine. It's a little risky with Wrecker. Is this one gonna taunt? Inflict stun, gain. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay. Alright, hit Inquisitor. Nice, big, strong hint. We get a taunt. Okay. Worried about these AoEs. I want to get protection up here. Here we go. Ooh, I'm not liking this. Alright. There's that. Perfect. This should be another nice hit on 9th. Perfect. Okay. Alright, we're good from here. Land a stun. Grab a taunt. Not getting enough courage yet, hopefully soon. Alright, here's a big hit. Here we go. Shaak Ti is an easy one. What do we... I mean, we could just Grand Inquisitor this. Sure, whatever. Boom. Okay. Critical piece down. Let's hit Echo. Just working on getting Purge up. Alright, boom. Let's see if we can work on banners a little bit. Alright, we'll equalize. I was hoping for the heal. Can you stop it? Now we're into the harder stuff. How do I want to deal with this? I think we're going to give Bad Batch a shot. I think they're gonna, yeah. This is one of those, it works out on the relic ones. Is it gonna work without relics? Okay. Let's get the buffs. We'll throw over the buff immunity, which maybe I should have done sooner. we will swap over to Echo. Okay, there's the days. It's stealth. Bossk is down. Can we get a stun? Perfect. Alright, we're good. Let's auto. Okay, let's move on. Now here, we've used up... No, that sounds like a car accident just happened outside. There's this corner right by my apartment where like 2 to 3 times a year there's an accident. What do I want to do? I guess we just use Sith Eternal Emperor. I was kind of thinking about maybe holding him for a battle and throwing him up against Rey is just like a Hail Mary kind of thing. But the only other thing we really legitimately could try here are bounty hunters. But it's a little risky, and I don't want to try it because I think this is just going to come down to banners. So we're just going to go this. Okay. Okay. We got the ultimate next. Trip it. Blow him up. I can't believe that I messed this up. Frustrated. I just... How many did I drop? None there. Well, other than Rey. 1 up against CLS. And then any on the back, and then nothing on the back wall. Alright, so really what we're talking about is a situation where he's got... It's a single banner, or a single failed attempt. So if he picks up 2 failed attempts elsewhere, and we did a couple solos to pick up a couple banners, but we had counters like gas that was dropped a bunch. So we're in a situation where if we pick up a couple holds throughout here, because my defense is tougher than what he set down, then we should be able to win this, because he's not clearing my Leia, or I highly doubt it. So if he's not clearing my Leia, I can't clear this. I think this comes down to banners, which I really hate that I've put this in my opponent's hands to win. If I just full cleared, I know this would have been a win. I just wish we had like a place where I could practice this, because I've done sortie. I wish I could track my personal experience with it. I know I've seen it before, but I'm sure it's been like 3 times or less. Like I guess in that case it would be 2 or 3 times. Definitely less than 5. All right, we'll check back later. And we have accomplished my goal. I'm really happy about this one. Completing a 3-0 week in Kyber 2. This is a very rare occurrence with the new model of Grand Arena matchmaking. This is something that we used to do all the time in the old system. We can do it when we drop into Kyber 3, but doing it in Kyber 2, this this feels great. Although I did get plenty of help from my opponents. But 3v3 is also a little bit easier. It's a lot, but it's not as much work to field a strong defense. And what we see with this current match is my defense really shining through. So with Candyman here, he had a route to win, and I think he could have played it a little differently and maybe things would have gone better. But what you see here is like, since I couldn't clear his Leia, what I would have done, or not his Leia, his Rey, what I would have done is completely ignore my Leia. Because all he needed to win was play cleaner than I did. Now, I only dropped a single battle with the other teams, so he would have had to play clean the rest, but it was still theoretically possible. So I would have, whatever counter he attempted here, I would have saved it. Because like if it's SLKR, he doesn't have Malicos, the chances that that was going to win are lower. It would have given him a stronger weapon for one of the other squads, and maybe that would have had some downstream effects to allow him to win. He also cleared this Grievous down here. And then in the lower territory, we take a look here. We see Dash gets a hold with Akbar Crons to give some Rebel synergy with Chewie and Han, and another Rebel Cron here on CLS also getting a hold. Bosch doesn't do anything. I think I'm going to leave Bosch there if my opponent doesn't have Leia. If they do have Leia, probably going to bring Bosch to offense, see what we can do with that. And then in the back territory, some nice surprises here. Probably there are teams on the back wall here that wouldn't have been in my history, which I think may or may not have helped. He may have not scouted me, but I think this will create some problems. So Zori getting hold, fantastic. Wasn't counting on that, but it's nice to see it. That's why she's there. Trench here, picking up 2 holds. Probably used a Wampa on the first attempt. This is why I like to have Watt with my Trench, because when Watt's there, it messes that counter up, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. And then here, Kneesaa Cron. I made sure to go after this because I knew in 3v3 I could use it. And it's a strong Cron. It does some nice things. We can click on it, right? So this Cron with the offensive stacking, crit damage stacking, revive mechanic, that's going to make things a ton harder, and that's why I set it down. I like it on offense, but I wanted to give my opponent a team on defense that they weren't going to be familiar with, that was going to get them out of their comfort zone. That's what I'm always trying to do. That's why I like certain teams, like even like this Trench squad. Because if you're setting down common teams, like if you're setting down a Mon Mothma or a Newt, those kinds of squads, your opponent knows how they want to handle it. They've got their go-to counters. And when possible, I never want my opponent to know how they want to handle my defense. I want them to be challenged so that the chances that they make a mistake is higher. And so here, the defense locks this down and makes it impossible for him to win. And I'm really happy about it because since I messed up with my offense, with how I handled Rey with that sortie, I needed a lot of help from my defense in order to make sure I won this, because this was a situation where I gave control of the victory away to my opponent. I didn't do the work that I needed to do. So for these differences to happen, and I was a little confident that this was going to happen just because when we did the bracket analysis, we saw all the teams that he didn't have on offense, which meant he just had a smaller pool of weapons to utilize against these characters. But that gives us a pretty meaningful Zeta infusion, crystals infusion into the roster that we don't always get to rely on these days. And especially with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon coming out, Kelleran out, that means we need to be dropping a lot more Zetas to keep developing the roster and showcasing and testing things here. So look out for that kind of stuff next week. We're going to have a Gear 11 Dark Trooper Moff Gideon for testing. We're going to have Kelleran Beck at Gear 11 for testing. I just got to make a decision about how many Zetas I'm going to be dropping down, because we have been spending a ton lately. But thank you for watching. Look out for that stuff next week. Be excellent to each other, everybody. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.